There is a question that couples whisper about, argue over, and sometimes avoid altogether. A question that rises in the quiet moments of doubt and also in the bright moments of love. A question that carries both weight and hope. Is privacy in a relationship a form of secrecy? Especially in marriage, where two lives become intertwined so deeply that the boundaries once obvious now blur. Today, I want to walk with you through this question. Not with judgment, not with rules, but with a perspective that speaks to the human heart and the human fear of losing love, trust, or the sense of being enough. Take a breath. Let it sink in. Privacy. Secrecy. Two words that sound similar but shape relationships in entirely different ways. Yet in the heat of conflict, they are often confused. And in the softness of love, they are often mishandled. So imagine for a moment, a marriage standing in the middle of a crowded room. Two people, hand in hand. The world sees them as one. But inside those intertwined fingers live two whole histories, two hearts with private scars, personal dreams, individual identities. Love doesn't erase those things. In fact, love is the space where those things are supposed to breathe. Privacy is the room a person still needs to be themselves. The inner sanctuary that allows growth, reflection, healing, and honesty with oneself. Privacy is not a door locked out of fear. It is a door gently closed so the soul can speak freely. Secrecy, on the other hand, is a door slammed shut to hide a shadow. It is fueled by fear, guilt, or avoidance. Secrecy is not about protecting oneself. It is about protecting a lie. And every lie grows teeth eventually. But here's the challenge. From the outside, privacy and secrecy can look the same. One partner stepping back for personal reflection may feel like distance to the other. A moment of silence can feel like rejection. A private thought can be mistaken as betrayal. And this misunderstanding can chip away at the strongest love. Pause with me on this. Let the truth settle. Marriage is the merging of two lives, not the dissolving of them. And yet, sometimes a person will demand to know everything about their partner because they fear the unknown. They fear abandonment. They fear hurt. So they try to remove all mystery, all independence, all private space from the other person. But love does not grow in captivity. It grows in confidence. And confidence grows in trust. Trust is the bridge between privacy and secrecy. When trust is strong, privacy feels like respect. When trust is weak, privacy feels like danger. When trust is healthy, differences feel like depth. When trust is broken, differences feel like threats. So the real question isn't simply whether privacy is secrecy. The real question is, what is the state of trust in the marriage? Because a relationship with trust can survive silence, distance, individual dreams, and personal space. But a relationship without trust cannot survive transparency, closeness, shared goals, or even constant communication. Without trust, everything becomes suspect. Think about that. Without trust, even honesty can feel like deceit. But here is where things become beautifully complicated. Two people can love each other deeply and still struggle with trust. Because trust is not automatic, even in marriage. Trust isn't built on a wedding day. Trust builds every day after. And trust resembles a muscle. Unused, it weakens. Overused, it tears. Properly exercised, it becomes strong enough to carry the weight of two whole human beings. It takes strength to trust. It takes vulnerability. And vulnerability is not natural. It is learned. So what does privacy look like in a healthy marriage? It looks like the freedom to feel your emotions before speaking them. It looks like having a journal your partner doesn't read, because the pages are where you process the chaos inside you. It looks like having conversations with friends, mentors, or family that help you grow, not betray. It looks like quiet moments alone that reconnect you with yourself so you can show up fully in the relationship. It looks like individuality that honors the marriage rather than competes with it. That is privacy. And privacy is not a threat to love. Privacy is the oxygen that keeps individuality alive. But secrecy is different. Secrecy is choosing silence to keep someone in the dark. Secrecy is hiding finances, hiding intentions, hiding friendships, hiding struggles, hiding temptations. Secrecy is presenting a polished version of yourself while burying the truth. Secrecy is dishonesty dressed as protection. And secrecy destroys slowly. It erodes peace. It corrodes intimacy. It invites suspicion. It multiplies fear. It creates distance without explanation. And worst of all, secrecy punishes a partner for trusting in good faith. Privacy protects authenticity. Secrecy protects illusions. Pause again. Let that distinction settle. Many marriages struggle because one partner craves transparency while the other needs personal space. And instead of seeing those needs as differences in temperament or past experience, both partners take it personally. One feels controlled. The other feels shut out. One withdraws. The other becomes anxious. One hides. The other searches. Pain appears. Arguments follow. Walls rise. But what if instead of assuming the worst, each partner tried to understand the fear beneath the behavior? What if the partner needing privacy is not hiding, but healing? What if the partner wanting transparency is not controlling, but scared? What if the marriage is not broken, but merely misunderstanding itself? We often assume love means giving everything. But love also means understanding what to hold back so that what you give is genuine. You do not pour from an empty cup. And you do not offer clarity before you have found your own. Sometimes privacy is the path to giving your partner the best version of you. But here is the truth people ignore. If your privacy is harming your partner, if your privacy creates confusion, if your privacy invites doubt, if your privacy makes your partner question their worth, then it demands a conversation. Because in marriage, privacy does not exist in isolation. It exists beside empathy. It exists beside communication. It exists beside reassurance. A healthy marriage gives each person room to breathe, but no one should ever suffocate in the process. So how do couples find the balance? They talk, not to win, not to defend, not to accuse, but to understand. They listen, not to respond, not to argue, but to hear the unspoken fears between the words. They reveal their vulnerabilities, not the polished versions, not the rehearsed lines, but the trembling truths we often hide even from ourselves. In the end, privacy is not measured in secrets kept. It is measured in trust earned. If you trust your partner, their private moments do not scare you. If you trust your partner, their space does not feel like distance. If you trust your partner, their individuality does not feel like abandonment. This is why the foundation of marriage is not transparency. It is integrity. Because transparency without integrity is just exposure. But integrity, even without full transparency, still breeds safety. Integrity is the promise that even in private, your partner is still honoring the relationship. Integrity is the quiet assurance that your heart is safe even when you're not looking. Integrity is the invisible bond that holds marriages together when communication falters. So no, privacy itself is not secrecy. But secrecy can hide beneath the disguise of privacy if someone lacks integrity. And transparency can become harmful if it is used to control, demand, or invade instead of connect. Balance is not achieved by force. Balance is achieved by trust. Let me offer you this image. Marriage is like two trees planted closely together. If their roots intertwine too tightly, neither tree grows strong. If they are planted too far apart, they cannot protect one another from storms. The right distance, the right connection, allows both trees to grow tall, rooted, nourished, and independent enough to stand strong, yet close enough to be unshakable together. That is love. That is privacy with purpose. That is transparency with wisdom. That is union without losing identity. Your partner does not need to know every thought you have, but they need to know that your thoughts do not betray them. Your partner does not need access to every corner of your personal world, but they need to know that nothing in those corners endangers the trust between you. Your partner does not need to read your mind, but they need to feel your sincerity. So yes, privacy can feel frightening in marriage, because love makes us vulnerable. And when you love someone deeply, even small unknowns can feel like shadows. But secrecy is not about shadows. Secrecy is about hiding the flame that can burn everything down. The difference is intent. The difference is accountability. The difference is transparency offered freely, not demanded forcefully. So the real question is not whether privacy equals secrecy. The real question is, do you feel safe in your relationship both when eyes are watching and when they are not? Because safety is the true measure of trust. If you feel safe, privacy strengthens you. If you feel unsafe, privacy threatens you. And that means the real work is not eliminating privacy. The real work is building trust so privacy is not feared. Marriages thrive when both partners understand this simple truth. I am mine, you are yours, and we choose each other. Every day. In honesty. In accountability. In transparency by choice, not pressure. In privacy that protects growth. And in love that holds everything together. Because love is not the death of individuality. Love is the home where individuality finds acceptance. Let this message linger in your heart. Ask yourself not whether your partner keeps things private, but whether the relationship invites honesty, safety, growth, and mutual respect. Ask yourself whether your marriage creates space for truth to breathe. Ask yourself whether both of you can be fully yourselves without losing each other. Ask yourself whether the trust between you is strong enough to withstand unanswered questions. Ask yourself whether the love between you is deep enough to survive transparency and private moments alike. When trust is present, privacy is not dangerous. When trust is absent, transparency is not enough. So nurture trust. Choose integrity. Honor individuality. Communicate fears. Share truth. Build safety. And love with courage. Because marriage is not about knowing everything about each other. It is about believing in each other even in the unknown. If you can do that, if you can walk together with openness, respect, and integrity, then privacy will never be secrecy. It will be strength. And your marriage will not just survive. It will flourish.